Hey, it's Sean with Price and Price Realtors with this week's market report. And this week we're going to actually look at what the pulse of the market is right now, but also look at the numbers for June and compare those to June of last year. So if you look at our graphs for this last 7 days, you'll see that the general pulse here is that the market is still kind of softening a little bit. It's still sort of evening out. So if you look, we had a decrease in buyer activity of about 28%, and inventory also dropped a little bit. It went down about 11%. So it brought the two, buyers and inventory, a lot closer together, which when you go over here and look at the strength of what you're going to experience of a seller's market versus a buyer's market, you can see that we're kind of experiencing almost a neutral market out there. So basically, again, what this translates into an actual experience is that properties are still moving quickly, as I'm about to show you. They are moving for asking price or above asking price. Buyers just have a little bit of an opportunity because they're not competing against 20 or 30 other offers like they had been, about 5 or 6 weeks ago. It's kind of calmed down a little bit as far as that's concerned. But properties are still moving very, very quickly and moving at or above asking price. So let's dive back in and look at what June of 2021 looked like versus June of 2020. All right, so the number of new listings in June of 2020, right here, you'll see was 549 listings. You'll see in June of 2021, there were 581 new listings. So we actually had more inventory come on the market in June of 2021 than we did in June of 2020, which means that, of course, inventory was higher. But what's interesting is even though we were experiencing the market softening and the competition kind of seeming to get a little bit less competitive, if you look at the numbers for June of 2020 as far as the number of sales, there were 320. Over here, June of 2021, 486. So a large increase in the actual number of sales of 2021 compared to 2020. So we did have an increase in inventory, but we also had actually a disproportionate increase in the number of sales that came along with that. And that's why we still are seeing that we're in a seller's market here, and that's why we're still seeing properties go above ask. So a lot of people right now are contemplating and asking, is the market shifting? What's happening with it? It's really hard to predict the future as far as what's going to happen, but based on these numbers, June of 2021 was a much stronger market than June of 2020, and June of 2021 was stronger than May of 2021 and April of 2021. So it does not look like the market is softening. It just looks like the level of competition is lessening up a little bit. Just for a few more statistics, if you look into the actual days on the market, June of 2021, had the lowest days on the market since January of 2020. So the houses are still moving very quickly. In fact, the closest one was August of 2020, was 39 days. Here we're sitting at 38 days. So properties are still moving very, very quickly. And what's really interesting is if you look over here at months of inventory, so this is called the absorption rate. And the absorption rate basically takes the total inventory and the total buyer activity in a given real estate market, and it determines how much inventory, how much time of inventory we have. So for example, in our current state for June of 2021, we had 2 months of inventory. So most experts say that anything around 6 months of inventory is a neutral market. Anything above 6 months, so 7 months, 8 months, anything above that is a buyer's market. Anything below 6 months is a seller's market. And we had 2 months worth of inventory throughout June. As you can see, that's the lowest level of inventory that we've had in the last, 18, 19 months. So the market is definitely still moving. It is definitely still a strong market. It's just our pulse of what we're feeling in the market up here is we're seeing a little bit, seeing a little bit less competition. All right. Any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and I hope this all makes sense, and we'll see you on next week's video. Have a great day.